Hello, it is Todd Herman here, and I wanted to jump on and do an update on my personal coronavirus experience. I had a video that I'd shared with a good buddy of mine, Eric, last week that has gone viral basically, where I'm just talking about my personal experience of having the coronavirus. And in some ways, apparently, it really reassured a lot of people because it showed someone who wasn't, laying on their deathbed on a gurney somewhere. And people could see that there's maybe many, many different shades of gray with the virus. So I wanted to come in and do a quick little update and share my personal experience with this, not medical advice by any stretch of the imagination. But, I am into about day 11 with this. It sort of has been continuing to linger in the chest area for me. I'll start with kind of how it began or what my personal experience was in the very beginning. Started with definitely a fever for myself. And then that fever kind of subsided after about 5 to 6 hours. Ironically, at the same time, I also got the flu. So it was the flu and coronavirus. The coronavirus was actually masked by the fact that I had the flu for a couple of days because the flu was, for me, way worse at the time. But so it started with the fever for me, and then it progressed into a cough, and then settles into the chest area. And I thought I was basically past it on Monday of this week, so a few days ago. But it's kind of kicked back in. And even though right now there's this sort of debate and some people sharing stuff around ibuprofen causing it to be magnifying its effects with people, I can tell you that. So I also have I'm also going through a Achilles rupture surgery recovery that I had, and that's probably actually where I got the coronavirus. Was actually when I went into the hospital to get my surgery a couple of weeks ago. But I took some some strong ibuprofen to help with the inflammation that I've got in my ankle. And that night, so on Monday night, it was my entire lungs just sort of clogged right up. My experience of breathing, anyway, was very, very hard, very labored. Again, there's many other factors that could be involved here, but my diet didn't change. Nothing else happened that I ingested. But the only thing that had changed from the previous night and the previous nights was the fact that I did take ibuprofen, and my personal experience was hardest time I've ever had breathing before. So just as a cautionary tale for you, again, no medical advice, because just I run a company that we do a lot of data research and study on the work that we do with performance and working with top level people. And I'm all about backing things up with some sort of science and data, but that's been my personal experience. So take that for what it is. But I'm operating. I am working to help serve our customers and clients as much as we possibly can. I can operate just fine personally, and but I will say that I can see why this would be so fatal for people who have pre-existing conditions and who have got troubles with their lungs or their compromised immune system. Because I'm a very healthy person. We take care of ourselves pretty well. I'm physically fit and active, and this has definitely caused a downtick in my ability to use my lungs properly. I can, even though this has been proven to be not a test that you can use to prove that you've got coronavirus. In the previous video that actually did go viral, I talked about the fact that it was that I used the 10-second rule. Now that was the day before all that kind of got debunked. In fact, where I got the advice was from doctors in my insurance app that we used. So that's where, but it was a pretty good litmus test for me to show what my VO2 capacity was, my lung capacity, because ironically, just the week before that, I had done a holding the breath contest with my daughter, and I lasted 1 minute and 46 seconds, but I couldn't last and still can't last more than about 6 seconds right now in doing a holding my breath. So take that for what you will as well. But the idea of social distancing and the idea of trying to stop the spread, because there are a lot of people who might not be like you, who are young and who are fit and who take care of who not even just take care of themselves, but are in a body is in a positive state, they will have a very, very hard time with this, and it's no wonder why there's so many fatalities of people that are definitely older and have compromised systems. So, again, take that for what you will. This is just more of a public service announcement from someone who's got it, who's operating, who's working hard, and also trying to make sure that we quarantine ourselves and stop the spread from ourselves. I was one of the first people to get it here in the New York City area, and it's tough to see other people having to experience this that aren't as fit as myself. But anyway, just wanted to pop in quick. If you've got questions, drop them below and share the video, because it was a positive message. My entire messages have been on, whether it's LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook or anywhere else. My email have been blown up from people just saying, thanks for sharing a message that and allowing us to see what someone who has it is operating and looking like. That isn't only images coming from the media. There have been some positive messages as well, of course, from the media of people experiencing this, but up until late last week, there were none whatsoever. It was all people who were basically laying on their deathbeds and stoking more fear than probably needs to be, other than the fact that if it's causing people to definitely distance themselves and self-quarantine, then that might be a good thing, but there's no reason to live in constant fear. If we're all smart, if we're all pragmatic, if we all do our part, we can get through this much, much faster and mitigate all the losses that are happening to people's personal economies and to their personal mental health. So anyway, thanks so much. Please share it if you can. And other than, if nothing else, just to show people that there's other people that are out there that are experiencing this, and, they can still operate just fine. So hope you have a fantastic day. Stay safe and stay positive, and, controlling the controllables, all the things that we can do. It'll help you feel a heck of a lot better about the current situation that we're going through. The winds are blowing on us all. It's how we set our sail that matters, as my mentor Jim Rohn would say. So have a great Wednesday, wherever you are. Ciao for now.